What's up, everybody? This is Jimmy with Trading Decoded. It is April 29th, 2025, and I'm going to get through this one pretty quick. My throat hurts, I'm getting sick, and I still want to make a video for you guys. But the purpose of today's video is just realizing that we don't have to take very many trades per day. But what we do have to do is, or know, is when the opportunity to take a trade actually exists. I'm coming to find that a lot of people are not really clear on exactly when they should be considering a trade and when they should be skipping trades, which probably should set up another let's talk about it series, or let's talk about it topic for our Saturday live YouTube live series. But I am trying to stay away from charts and stuff on like that. But either way, guys, important to know so that if you can spot or know what you're looking for to at least entertain the idea of considering a trade so that you can put yourself in a position to ultimately be in a trade that ends up resulting in a nice win or the expected win or a bigger win, right? Fact of the matter is you can't win big or win at all if you don't take trade setups when they exist. Now, again, the important part here is knowing how to spot them before you take them. No trade should ever sneak up on you, ever. Okay? And in today's chart, we had a bunch of new people in our community today. We had a stellar day. We had a stellar day despite the chart being less than stellar. There's some great moves out there today. And there's some times where things don't work out the way you hope they do, but we're also not trying to take every trade imaginable. So let's go ahead and get into the chart. I'm going to show you guys what we looked at. We'll do the call put scenario. The put scenario never hit, so we weren't looking for puts. Call scenario was if we get above 470 on the Qs, we're hoping to make it up to, and I said this out loud to everybody, up to at least 470.71. So it was looking for a 71-cent move to the upside. We did break that line in pre-market, so my futures traders did get to make money and get into the trade before my SPY traders did. Doesn't matter, the results were the same. Now, I personally did not take this while the Qs were riff-raffing, holding the trend line that we had there, holding the call line as support. ADD was moving up. Truthfully, this is one of my biggest pet peeves for me. Too much information is not a good thing, okay? I was watching NVIDIA's chart that was whipsawing back and forth big time. That kept me out of the trade that I otherwise wanted to take. So if you struggle from indicators keeping you out of trades because you're not sure if it's going to work or not, maybe consider cutting back on some of those indicators, guys. It's one thing that we focus on in this community is trading using your own eyeballs and price action. It's really all you need. And when you come to have less information to be worrying about, the more likely you are to have less keeping you out of trades altogether. With that said, let me say this first because nobody makes it to the end of the videos. Guys, if you're interested in joining my community, the first week is free. All you have to do is join the Discord server. You don't have to sign up anywhere, and you don't have to, pick it from a store. Literally just show up in my Discord community, in my server, and the free trial starts at that point. Normally I save this for the end, but I get asked every day, Jimmy, I was looking for your free trial. How do I do it? Just show up. Okay, just show up. With that said, the call scenario worked out. You got the full 70-cent move and then some. As we move up and get through, both these charts hit resistance at the same time, which was what that second circle was there for. Again, I was not in it. It was at this point we started to move down. Said to everybody, well, I might be interested in puts, but not only do I want to get below this trend line, I also want to break support. We never got down. We never broke this support. We never made it through the put line. So then it didn't happen. We moved back up, pull back, rejection, higher low. I told everybody right here, and quite frankly, I was getting a little bit impatient. I was starting to feel like if I don't do something now, I'll end up not trading at all, which is okay, by the way. But I'm sure I'm not the only one who feels that way, where you've seen enough of the chart to know you've seen too much, and you decide to say, you know what, I'm not touching this at all. There's nothing wrong with that, by the way. Just be aware of it, and don't do like I did today and let that be the reason you kind of force a trade or say, F it, I'm going to take this trade. Now, it ended up working out beautifully for me and a lot of other people, because I told everybody, guys, this is a higher low. It looks like, I said, it looks like this is building up to be a higher low. I'm going to go ahead and take calls here. I'm going to assume we're going to break this resistance, and I'm hoping that we make it up to the pre-market midline. As you can see, I have an alert set there. We got straight through, did get above resistance, closed above it. That was good. Because of that, I'm assuming we're going to get up to the next line. It did. It closed above that. Tried to hang on, hoping it was going to get to the Qs next high up on the Qs. It did that, but it happened too quick, so I did not get out there. And then when we started to struggle to move up or down, I said, all right, guys, I'm going to tighten up after that move, my stop losses. And lo and behold, I got stopped out in the very next candle, which was okay. That ended up being almost a 40% win. Great day for me. We pull back, we put in lower highs, so we're not expecting to hold support here. In fact, we're expecting to pull down to the next support. And as luck would have it, or not luck, but probabilities, just because price action, we're expecting it to touch or get down to what was old resistance to support. Now, not a trade I was willing to take at that point, because ADD, the market was a little weird. But I told everybody, again, guys, this is a big green candle. There's a lot of buying going on in the market. It's not the cleanest chart, but if we're able to get above this resistance here, the next one up is all the way up here. That's plenty of room to make money. I was done for the day, so I wasn't looking for these trades for me, but I'm trying to help other people find trade setups. And the more important part is, guys, is understanding not how to take all of these trades, understand why they're worth considering whether to stay out of or get into in the first place. That's my job. My job is to teach you what to look for so that you can make your own trade decisions, right? I'm here as your support factor, not to call out, and I can't legally tell you what to do. I could tell you what is likely to happen based on years of watching SPY and Qs every day. Okay, so we got through resistance. If we close above resistance, naturally, I assume we're going to make it up to the next resistance. At this point, we had gotten a couple of green candles on ADD. We had some wicks on the bottoms of the candles. ADD was trying to pick itself up from where it opened, and it was successfully doing so. I said, guys, we're looking to go from resistance A to resistance B. So if you're interested in that, great. Once we closed above those two lines, we were hoping for the pink line. We can always hope, but every time we close above resistance, we want it to stay support. And if we close back below it, we have to assume it's going to come down to the next support. So this circle here is a stop loss for anybody who got into calls here that didn't sell while we were up here. There's nothing wrong with that. If you want to hope for more, that's fine. Just protect yourself in the event that you don't get more. Okay? And if we're not willing to hold calls anymore because we're expecting it to not, I mean, we went through a whole long conversation about this today. Jimmy, why would you stop out here and also consider it a put entry? Because we have counter trend traders in our group. Okay. Now for me, I have a more strict reasoning to get into situations like this, but it doesn't matter. It's not hard to understand price action. You just have to trust it. Okay. Trust it enough to use it, but understand that nothing works 100% of the time. So what we're looking for here is not only a close below what was resistance, it's tried to be support. We closed below support. Because of that, we're assuming it's going to make its way down to the next support, which was right here. Okay. Now, it wasn't the cleanest move down. We did move down. We pulled back, put in a lower high, and then we got down to that level. Okay. On the SPY chart, it was a much, much cleaner move. So nonetheless, you never even saw red in that trade if you got in at the right time. And we did continue down and go lower and lower. Here was another lower high. Told everybody lower highs, definitely wouldn't buy calls here. If you're not going to buy calls, consider why. Then I make everybody answer, why wouldn't you buy calls on support, guys? Well, that's a lower high. That's what they answer. And I say, well, what does lower high means? Lower highs mean we're more likely to break support and move down to the next support. Well, where is that? Oh, that's down here on this double bottom. Okay, great. Is there enough room there to make money? Yes, then that's the trade we're looking to take. Guys, that's what we do in there. I'm not sitting here spoon feeding you. You're here to learn. If you're not interested in learning, then please don't bother joining my Discord. If you want to use the free week to take away some free information, by all means do that. But if you're expecting me to call out your trades for you, that's not what I'm all about. That is not helpful for you. You think it is, but it's not, because the minute that person's not doing that for you, you're not going to know what the hell you're doing, which is the important part. Okay. So beautiful move to the downside. It was a great trade and it worked out. Then I was explaining to a new member. If you're out there, you know who I'm speaking about, Sam. What we're looking for if we want to take calls in a situation that we're pulling back or trending down in. Well, two things. We want to break the downtrend line, and then we want to take out resistance. And as long as there's room between resistance A and resistance B, that's the trade we're trying to take. Let's take a look at ADD. Well, ADD had started to move back to the upside. We got through resistance A. We knew where resistance B was, and voila, another banger of a trade right there, straight up, all green candles. It moved a little bit higher, but nonetheless, that was probably a 30+% win with zero stress. I mean, it happened in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes. A 5-minute trade that made you 40, probably 40+%. Beautiful move to the upside. And then we kind of just waited, okay? Because during this time, I was doing a little mini session throughout the day. Again, sometimes we deviate from the charts when the things don't look the cleanest, and we start talking about things that some people didn't understand, or what we're looking for, or why the most recent price action reigns king over anything else, and all of that stuff. But then again, lower high, we call it out. Again, I'm not a call out service, guys, but I will tell you when there's a lower high, and then I'll remind you why it's not good to buy calls off of lower highs. Then I'll remind you where we're likely to go because of those lower highs. And if you find that information useful to you, well, then you make your trade decisions, okay? But the point is repetition. If you see it enough, you see how often it works, it becomes something you trust. If it's something you trust, it's something you'll trade. If it's something you'll trade and trust, you'll feel good about that trade while you're in it. You understand? Okay, so lower high. That means we're likely to break this support and run down to the next support, which is right here. It's exactly what we did. We did put in another lower high. Guys, what's that mean? It means we're more likely to break that support and run down to the next support, which was right here. We didn't quite make it here on this move down, but nonetheless, you had a trend line. If it closed above it, you got to get out of the trade if you didn't already. As we move down and start breaking through these levels, I remind people to move your stops into profit, but at the very least, put it at break even. This way, no matter what happens, you cannot lose money. There is nothing more comfortable than being in a trade that you cannot lose money on. Okay? Then we broke the downtrend line. My rules for that is not only do we got to get above the trend line, we want to take out the most recent resistance, and we did not. And look at what happened. It rejected and came back down. So no trade there for me, if you ask me. And that was the last trade that we kind of talked about, because at 12 o'clock I got off the mic and there was nothing else to do there. Guys, there's one more thing I want to touch on real quick because I think it's important. Number one, check out my book. Very useful information in there. It might answer a lot of the questions that you may be missing that I don't cover in these videos. I get through these videos quick because you guys have very short attention spans. You have no interest in watching 20-minute videos. Okay, and therefore I have no interest in making 20-minute videos. I'll make hour-long videos if I knew people would watch them. I got a lot of information up here to share with you, but you just can't find time to watch these longer videos. With that said, the book explains everything. Consider buying it. Read it at your own pace in a non-stressful environment. Very good information in there for you, okay? Also, if you are finding that your trade plan is keeping you in winning trades, but not as winning as you plan them to be, and you find yourself pulling back and making a lot less money, change your trade plan. You're not going to get a 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio every time. In fact, you're probably not going to get it most times. Okay, and I'm saying this out of love, and you know who you are. We have a gentleman in our room who was up I'm going to use his numbers because he's only trading single SPY contracts responsibly, which is good. He was up 45 bucks, but because it didn't reach his full amount, he stopped himself out with a $4 win. Now that's okay if that's your trade plan, but it's not okay if that plan is going to cause you to become more frustrated, because when we are dealing with the market while we're frustrated, we start to make stupid decisions. So in his case, and you know who you are, please aim for that 2-to-1 if that's your plan, but trail the win, man. If you cannot afford to walk past the $20 bill on the ground in hopes of finding $100 around the corner, then pick up at least 10 of those dollars. Okay? Move your stops up, guys. If you're in a profitable trade and you know that you become more irritated or aggravated when you go from a very profitable to a less profitable trade, then take steps to lock in the majority of your profit instead of waiting for a line on the chart. There will come a time where you can aim for the line and wait for that line to either get hit or your stop loss gets hit. But if you're struggling to grow your account and grow your confidence, you're not at that point. Take the free money. When it's there, take it. Stop worrying about what's going to happen after you get out of your trade. That will crush your confidence in your account before you know it, okay? And with that, we're going to wrap it up. Hope you guys found some useful information in this video. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. If you'd like to join our Discord community, as I mentioned a little earlier in the video, there are links always down in the description below in every single one of my videos. There's also a link for the book down there as well. And that's pretty much it. So I hope you guys got some useful information in this. And if you're interested, join us. Free week, no credit cards, no nothing. Just after 7 days, your free access wears off. You don't even have to leave the community. You don't have to cancel anything, okay? No trickery like that. And that's it. I hope you all had a fantastic day in the markets. Tomorrow's a new day. Till then, I love you guys.